Today, we're talking all about the recent Bandcamp purchase. What does it mean for independent musicians who rely on the site? Who or what exactly is Songtradr, the company that bought them?
The Discord has been alive with chatter this week, which is lovely because Bandcamp has been bought out once more. It's only been 18 months since we sat down to discuss this ourselves, but Bandcamp has been bought out. And Songtradr has gone mental with the note taking. So we'll start with Songtradr and then we'll go into what the community's saying. I'll take over. So Songtradr, take it away, brother.
I'm going to talk what they say about their Bandcamp acquisition, and then we'll talk what Songtradr is, because I want to hear from them and share what they're saying. And there's a couple paragraphs that I think are important. So basically, Songtradr, which they themselves call a music licensing platform and marketplace company supporting artists, labels, and publishers, and Epic Games, a leading interactive entertainment company and provider of 3D engine technology with their Unreal Engine, they announced that Songtradr is acquiring Bandcamp. Songtradr will continue to operate Bandcamp as a marketplace and music community with an artist-first revenue share. Songtradr will also offer Bandcamp artists the ability and choice to have their music licensed to all forms of media, including content creators, game and app developers, and brands. This will enable artists to continue to own and control their music rights, and increase their earning capacity from Songtradr's global licensing network. So that's kind of the key of Songtradr. Real quick, I do want to share this. This is Songtradr. This is my account. This is the opt-ins you can do. So US Mechanical Royalty Collection, which they say pros don't do, like the pros, BMI and stuff. Here's the YouTube monetization. Then there's this network TV opportunity, make your music available for various networks. There's a Twitch one, TikTok, stock music and YouTube licensing, resellers, business overhead radio. I think that's what one of my songs was on, that one I mentioned. App games and platforms, compilation albums, and Big Sync music. So Big Sync's one of the ones they bought. Remember, it was like the first one they bought. So that's one of the things. So that's that. And then if we go to, let me go to monetization, not monetization. I'm sorry. Distribution. I've never done it, but you can see it goes to Spotify, Apple, YouTube, TikTok, Deezer, Tidal, Amazon Music. Not many, if that's all they go to. But interesting. And then let's see, where's that? Here's the music wanted. This is all it is now, just a couple that are open, and you just go and you can submit 2 songs to each of these, which is actually a little better than you just get 4 submissions per month. So it's kind of better, but kind of not, because it's just, you just like submit 2 songs, no text or anything, and then it's just, if it gets chosen, it gets chosen. Now, I'm curious, chat, are any of you familiar with the company Songtradr? And I asked this because in a little bit, I was shocked by the moves Songtradr has been making since 2019. And I'm curious, Curtis, have you ever heard of Songtradr?
Heard of it, never used it.
Okay, and Eon Lake?
I have. Have I used it? I have an account on it, and I have 2 songs on it. And just before the show, I logged into it to see what's happened to them over the last few years. And yeah, not much.
And when did you sign up?
It was a few years ago.
Okay, yeah, so I signed up in 2017 because it has changed quite drastically. I hadn't used it since 2019, and I was shocked at how sparse it had become. And we were talking about that in the Discord. Really quick, I appreciate everybody in the chat. David said, no, never heard of it. Frequency Control Center said, never heard of Songtradr before. And Bendu said, never heard of it before they bought Bandcamp. Yeah, I figured that would be the common theme. And if you're watching this back, let us know in the comments if you'd ever heard of Songtradr or if you've ever used them and you had heard of them. I'm very curious because I'm going to get into it. It's a marketplace, right? And it's changed over the years. They're claiming that they're going to secure licensing deals for Bandcamp, including with Epic Games, who they just bought from, which will continue to collaborate with Bandcamp on projects like Fortnite Radio, which I think is, you can correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but one of the only things Epic did with Bandcamp. They integrated a Fortnite Radio with it. I think that's one of the few. I think Lars, one of our patrons, mentioned they got it on Apple CarPlay too, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah,
he mentioned that.
Yeah, that's like all they did. Now, I do want to get into something I found very interesting, because this is why I asked everybody if you're familiar with Songtradr. Well, they've bought 7 or 8 companies for millions of dollars since 2019. So they are dropping tons of money and buying stuff up left and right. But it seems like very few have even heard of them. But I'm curious to get Curtis and Eon Lake's take. Eon Lake, you probably have something important to say here that's very optimistic and cheery. Do you mind starting us off?
I think everything's wonderful. It's all wonderful. We should continue to love each other, and yeah, everything's going to be fine. But oh, sorry about this. Yeah, I don't know what I think yet. I'll be honest. I'm reserving judgment. There is a part of me, and he's so cynical. I don't talk to him very much, but there is a part of me that says, well, what do Epic know that they want to sell after such a short time? It's more about that, really, my thinking, than particularly Songtradr buying them. Songtradr buying them seems to make a bit of sense in the shooting fish in a barrel sort of sense. Why have people come to you to submit their songs and everything when you can get a line into them directly? But yeah, I don't know what I think about that yet. We'll wait and see.
Wait till I actually read the next article too, because there's a few things they declined to comment on that I didn't like. But let's hear from Curtis.
That was another thing, because I think
they're
in the acquisition and the phase where they will spend a few months looking through everything and then maybe start making decisions about where they're going. They've probably got an idea already, but we'll review the business first and see how it works. But I'm hoping that the fact that they're not commenting on any of this stuff is just, hey, just what you see, pal. Just a press release for now. We're not, communicating anything, and I certainly don't have the power to express an opinion on anything. Rather than anything more shady than that, that it's like, well, big changes, but we're not ready to reveal it yet. I think it is probably more just at the moment, just a press release is all we're going to say, and we'll figure it out later. But
I think that the Epic Games purchase, while we were all kind of optimistic at the notion when it came out, and they actually did nothing with it,
true,
to see it then go on to something else can only be a good thing. So let's go to Pitchfork.
The main part, I mean, it's really just the news, but the main part that I wanted to say was, where is it? In that second paragraph, Curtis, near the end of it, asked whether artist revenue shares, user experience, or the editorial platform Bandcamp Daily will be affected by the acquisition, Songtradr declined to comment. A representative for Epic Games also declined to comment on the sale, pointing to the company's public announcement, which didn't really say anything. Also of note, I be remiss in not mentioning this. The sale, as they say, was announced when Epic announced that they were laying off 16% of its workforce. So there's also that. Down at the bottom, the Pitchfork says this year's members of Bandcamp Editorial, Design, Support, and Engineering staffs unionized. Bandcamp United shared a brief statement on social media on Friday, and this was posted September 28th. They wrote, on Thursday, Epic Games announced that Songtradr is acquiring Bandcamp. Thanks, everyone, for your support and solidarity as we go through this transition. We're still preparing for our scheduled negotiations on 10.2 and 10.3 with Epic Games and have submitted a formal request to management for more information about the sale. Bandcamp United is looking forward to bargaining with Songtradr in the near future regarding wages, working conditions, and benefits. It's our hope that Songtradr honors our existing progress, including union security and preserving artists' first mission in our collective bargaining agreement that we've already made at the bargaining table.
But the Discord and the news and the interwebs has been alive with the sound of Songtradr. So basically, in the week, Songtradra's CEO, Paul Wiltshire, reassured that there were no plans to change Bandcamp's existing model, emphasizing that it's already a great platform, which is fair enough. They wanted, the whole point of it is, like we discussed last week, this idea of bringing licensing opportunities to us, the independent musician, where not only could we put our songs and tracks and EPs and lovely goodness out for purchase, but we can also get licenses for TV and applications and things like that. It was emphasizing particularly the idea of games, fitness apps, and meditation apps, which is a really lucrative market if you think about it. As Bandcamp was seen at the largest independent musical community, it wants to connect independent musicians to that idea. That's their idea, and they want to retain control. We want us to retain, control over our rights. They said that Songtradr is committed to allowing Bandcamp artists to make choices about where their music goes, recognizing that licensing can be complex, and the intention is there to support us. The whole idea basically is to give the value directly to us, the music licensing benefits to us, and allow us as independent musicians to have control over where our music goes. That's the theory, and that's what's been coming out. So let's discuss that before we get into the more controversial stuff. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is basically what we were thinking about last week. The idea of that's what Bandcamp is missing, the idea of sync licensing and neighboring rights, etc. And they seem to have confirmed that.
It would
Yeah.
seem so, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Are they going to stick with
So
it? I don't know. And I mean, they're still saying their big thing is to work towards licensing. And I still think that's a drastic change to the whole identity of Bandcamp, because Bandcamp is kind of all about the independent. You don't have to deal with pros. You don't have to deal with licensing. You don't have to deal with copyright. I mean, yeah, they've been getting a little stricter since Epic bought them with copyright things. And I'm not saying necessarily that you shouldn't work with these copyright things and stuff like that, but I mean, I think it changes the landscape of Bandcamp, and it might change how it works in terms of pricing. I know there's a pro feature you can pay monthly and things like that, but it's just going to be interesting to see how it's all going to go down. And I mean, I'm wondering, maybe we've learned our lesson. When Epic bought them, we were like, this could be really good, this could be really bad, it could be like all of this cool stuff, it could be all this horrible stuff, and then basically nothing changed, but they added Apple CarPlay or something. So it could be something similar to that.
There has been troubles in paradise. I think it's the wrong idiom to say, but there's definitely been
broken E-string.
Broken E-string, yeah. It's basically Songtradr has bought the website, but not necessarily the employees. On September the 27th, Epic Games held a meeting announcing layoffs of 830 people, which is 16% of the workforce, and the sale. Right, we know this. And the lack of guidance from Epic or Songtradr has received. They couldn't get into their own platform for a little while, for example. But now the Bandcamp Union is calling for Songtradr to offer jobs to all existing employees, recognize the union, and continue negotiations initiated with Epic, seeking support from musicians and fans to preserve Bandcamp's artist-friendly ethos and its committed workforce. Essentially, in short, Songtradr in a Zoom call announced that they were buying the website. They weren't necessarily buying the employees, and therefore there is going to be some restructuring. There is going to be some jobs lost, which is problematic, especially when it comes to the notion of, like you say, new and notable community feedback, getting support, that kind of thing. Who are they going to replace them with? Are they going to be as friendly? Are they going to be as reachable? Are we going to be suddenly met with an AI bot help chat saying, hey, how can I help you today? These are all questions which kind of come through and does lead us to a little bit of questioning, where is this going?
There's also a lot going on. Bandcamp, I believe, under Epic had started a union, and they have a Twitter. I'll post it in the chat. Bandcamp United, and they've been talking that they were talking with Epic, but now they're trying to talk with Songtradr, and it's changing very quickly. They're still bargaining with Epic.
There's the whole, well, we're not going to change anything, we're going to keep it all the same, except we're going to change the workforce.
Well, Songtradr has made a load of layoffs, about 50% layoffs for Bandcamp, particularly those who are a part of the union. But I'll let someone see if he made the notes on this one. Go for it.
Yeah, so I have a tweet, if you don't mind sharing it, from Bandcamp United, the union, where they just talked about what happened, and then I also have a bit from the Quietus, just talking what Songtradr was saying about why they did the layoffs. So first we'll just go to this. So Bandcamp says today, Epic Games' sale of Bandcamp to Songtradr was closed, and at least half of Bandcamp staff was laid off. This is heartbreaking. We love our jobs, the platform we built, and the Bandcamp community. We're glad to have our union coworkers who have each other's backs. We'll be moving together to decide what our next steps are. On Wednesday, we return to the bargaining table with Epic Games, and we'll keep you updated. Love and solidarity to the whole Bandcamp community. Thank you for the support. So, yeah, not good news. And then if we go to the Quietus article, news of the layoffs initially filtered through on X, formerly Twitter, with a number of members of staff revealing that they had been let go. In a subsequent statement confirming the job cuts, Songtradr said, over the past few years, the operating costs of Bandcamp have significantly increased. It required some adjustments to ensure a sustainable and healthy company that can serve its community of artists and fans. After a comprehensive evaluation, including the importance of roles for smooth business operations and pre-existing functions at Songtradr, 50% of of Bandcamp employees have accepted offers to join Songtradr.
What a spinning language that is, isn't it? Like that notion, they fired 50%, but it's been spun as 50% have opted to join Songtradr. That's a very, maybe I'm putting my English hat on, but that's it's an interesting turn of phrase. Seems a bit doom and gloom, no?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. We have to keep playing this wait and see. We have to see how it all shakes out. But yeah, it's not the best news, and it's horrible for everyone that's affected by it. That's the worst part. But I mean, yeah, we just have to kind of see what happens with Bandcamp. Where's it going to go? Are they going to focus again or double down on doing licensing and things like that? I believe a lot of the layoffs were in the editorial too. What I had read was saying a lot were in the editorial, which is a bummer because Bandcamp Daily is incredible and the new and notable is great. I'd be curious to hear if anybody has ever been featured on Daily or New and Notable, what your take was. I had an album on New and Notable and it saw a massive increase thanks to them. So yeah, I mean it was really huge. So I hope Bandcamp Daily stays and New and Notable and all that stuff. And we have an interesting comment from Fluffy Bunnies. They say, why Bandcamp? And then what does Bandcamp do for you? So I'd be curious if anybody in the chat wants to answer that as well. But I mean, it's
hard to answer quickly on that one, isn't it?
It is hard to answer quickly, but I mean, Bandcamp acts as a much more direct fan to artist platform compared to streaming, where it's very inactive listens coming largely from playlists typically, and then the streams are very small numbers. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but if let's say you sell an album for $10 to get that same amount of money from Spotify would take thousands of streams. So I mean, it can do a lot. That's my take. I'd be curious if there's any more. And Fluffy Bunny says more so than CD Baby or SoundCloud. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like SoundCloud, I think you can sell. I don't know if you can, but Bandcamp you can sell music. They take a small amount of revenue share. CD Baby gets you on streaming. I think they have a platform for selling, but I mean, I never saw sales on there, whereas I see sales on Bandcamp. There's a dedicated base of fans on Bandcamp that listen and support music. So it's a little different than just being on a streamer or something like that. This is a direct, and you can communicate. They have basically email list. When people support you, they join, or they can choose to join your mailing list, and then you can contact them with email saying, hey, new album is out, things like that. Or even just when you release a song, Bandcamp sends a notification to your followers saying, hey, Sunwarper released a new song, or Eon Lake released a new album. So yeah, in my opinion, it can do a lot. And so it's sad to see a lot of these things going on. And if changes are coming, that's quite the bummer for Bandcamp and for, I think, independent artists at large.
As far as discriminating it from streaming services, it's more of a marketplace, isn't it? Although you can obviously stream before you buy, because otherwise you'd have no idea of what you were buying. But it's not a streaming platform; it's more a marketplace. And independent labels use it a lot as well. There's some very good music coming from a lot of small labels can use that as one of their main outlets. That and in the independent record stores put together, is a huge part of the revenue that they manage to generate in order to stay afloat. Streaming just doesn't, touch the sides on that. It's just nice to have, I think.
I think the community as well it's geared towards, or gears away from, the notion of things that are quote unquote trendy. It allows the left field, it allows the subgenres, it allows the explorative genres to kind of do their thing, and there's an active appreciation for that, and there's an active kind of understanding that music can be anything, not just what makes a TikTok trend, for example, to be very slap and dash and be very kind of quick about the whole motion. But there's a whole community based around it as well, and there's so much more than just streaming in that regard.
Abby was saying, I'm curious to see how long Songtradr is going to let socials crumble about it without making any comments. Sentiment is going downhill and they remain silent. Yeah, I wonder if they're playing the wait and see or what. It's interesting. And then Mike says, my lifetime sales on Bandcamp are almost 200, netting me over 700. How many thousands of plays would I have needed on Spotify to make that same amount? I mean, exactly. That's the thing. It's a much better artist share
Another argument is that streaming platforms are kind of driving towards casual listening in massive.
Exactly. Yeah. Inactive listeners. That's what I was saying. They're on playlists. They're not even listening to you as an artist. You're just background sounds on a playlist.
The people that you tend to get looking for music on Bandcamp are kind of more enthusiasts, and you're probably more likely to be interested in you as an artist if it's something that they decide that they like.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to share this from our patron, Lars Haur. Really interesting idea. He predicts that Bandcamp won't die off. It's simply going to turn into a Spotify type of situation where we don't like it and they don't respect artists, but we can still use it anyway, or we still use it anyway because what else can we do? Somewhat forecasting negativity in that regard, but
we need a dystopia alert on this.
Yeah, what else can we do? Yeah, I mean, well, look, that's kind of what the argument when it was. Right. Well, we have to use Spotify. What else can we do? You can use Bandcamp. That was the previous thing.
So they make Bandcamp Spotify. And
my only thing is, I mean, one hope is that other things will come to the forefront that are similar to what Bandcamp has been if Bandcamp starts to change. So we'll see. That's just the way we really can't comment on what's going to happen. This is not good news by any means, and it doesn't set a good precedent.
No,
but we'll see. I mean, like you were saying, Curtis, about the trending musics, which is kind of more of the Spotify game and stuff. That's my worry with this push for sync, because I feel like sync is typically much more of these. Like if you go on Songtradr's website, I did today, looking at what they're looking for sync today, it was inspirational classical music, like that epic commercial sounds you hear on like travel commercials and stuff like that. And then uplifting pop music and one or two other things. A couple weeks ago, they did have one that was for lo-fi music, but of course, that's still pretty mainstream in the moment. So that's kind of my concern, is that it's gonna kind of sway that way. We'll have to see.
We will be keeping up to date with this as it unfolds.